Hello and welcome to another EG Recap. I'm Jack Lindsay, and before we get to the news, I'd like to show you something. You guys have been giving me a lot of positive feedback and support lately, and it's been very encouraging. But look at this message I recently got through the Exclusively Games Facebook. Are you seeing that? A fellow Jack reached out and complimented the show, said he liked it so much he wanted to get me a game for it. Now obviously I'm very grateful, I'm humbled by that. I certainly do not feel particularly deserving of it, but it means a lot. It really does. In dark times, a single act of kindness can really put some wind in your sail. So let's sail on together to the news. I've got 3 stories for you today. For one, Cyberpunk goes nearly 100% first person. Then the Mordhau devs talk about 1v1 duels, as well as a host of other updates. And last, we've got a Doom 4 vanilla mod. It basically lets you play Doom 2016 as if through the original games. In our first story by Tyler Krasny, Cyberpunk goes nearly 100% first person. And he writes, Cyberpunk 2077 has become embroiled in a mild controversy. Again? Earlier today, and that was on the 2nd, CDPR's global community lead talked about the decision to make their upcoming game almost 100% first person in order to maintain immersion and make it feel more real. This upset many fans because they felt a heavy focus on first person would invalidate the work they put into creating a character. I can kind of see that. Some of us spend hours on those character creation screens, and people make mods for them. Then again, half the time in games, all your work just ends up getting covered by armor anyway. And we got a tweet here by Marcin Momut, it's a fun name, and it says, achieving full immersion in an FPP game is extremely important, and the decision made by the team to go 100% first person is something that will benefit it greatly from gameplay and storytelling perspectives. That said, players will still be able to see their characters in the inventory screen during driving sequences, in mirrors, and very occasionally in some of the cutscenes. Okay, that sounds reasonable. Fans have declared things ranging from pre-order canceled. It's like CDPR has this well thought out, articulated, artistic reason for what they're doing, and they're like, and don't worry, you'll still get to see your character. And the fan response is just pre-order canceled. Some others said to me this is a huge mistake, but this is not a completely one-sided argument. Some people have come out in defense of CDPR's choice, agreeing that third-person cutscenes would break immersion, or saying that CDPR knows what kind of game they want to make and they shouldn't cave to people who want something other than their vision. Yeah, I find that people only believe in that argument so far as nothing they disagree with happens in a game. There were some simple comments saying things like, I respect the move, I really trust you guys. As this began to pick up traction, audio surfaced from a Q&A all the way back from Gamescom. Published to YouTube on August 27th, the Q&A talks about a wide variety of things, but Redditors on our games focused heavily on the exchange at around 17 minutes. Now, of course, the link to the full Q&A is going to be included in the article below, but the portion in question talks about cutscenes where, while you're not explicitly in third person, you still see yourself. This includes things like walking past a mirror on the Ripper Doc scene, or where you get your cybernetic eye removed and you can see yourself through it. Some stuff, they believe, is just illogical in third person, like the moment they showed off in the deep dive where players are grabbed by Sasquatch and thrown. Mike Tost says, if we can contextualize it, like the situation with our Ripper Doc friend, then it's fine. What are your thoughts on CDPR's choice, Tyler asks? Do you think it's acceptable, or do you think they're making the wrong decision? Talk about it in the comments below. He commands you. No, but seriously, I'm actually interested in this, in what people think. It doesn't really occur to me to be something to fret over. I mean, just personally, you got this enormous game, this incredibly immersive, expansive, beautifully crafted CDPR game, and they go, hey, we're gonna go with this direction for immersion's sake. And my response is just like, okay, that'll be neat to see. That'll be neat to try out. I remember back in the day, the first Half-Life did that. Because Half-Life arose out of this storytelling landscape where most games fell into one of 2 extremes. They either had walls of texts, paragraphs upon paragraphs of exposition that would just grind the game to a halt, and lots of cutscenes. And you can think of like early Metal Gear Solid games, for example. Or there was just pretty much no story whatsoever. I mean, there was, but it was a secondary thought, if that. And then Half-Life came along and changed the game, literally. And they use storytelling through perspective, locked in first-person mode like that. What does the opposition to this want to be done exactly? For all the cutscenes in the game to be reshot? How much money and time would that take? How much would that take away from the rest of the game's development to insert animated third-person perspectives of your character into every cutscene? Is it that worth it? That all that time and money should be put into that instead of something else? I don't know. I mean, obviously I have my opinion, but it's not a big deal to me to begin with. So, like Tyler, I demand that you discuss this in the comments. In story number 2 by Jonathan Irwin, Mordhau receives 1v1 duels, honorable combat optional. One of these days I'm going to do a recap without editing my voice at all, and when you guys hear it, you'll open up a GoFundMe for my brain surgery. Mordhau, the medieval combat game that lets the gamers duke it out in massive blood-filled battles, has received another update, and among a myriad of tweaks and changes comes the addition of a long-sought-after mode of players seeking a more intimate combat experience. Yes, now players can enter a ranked 1v1 dueling mode that pits people against each other without the worry of others jumping in and ruining the duel. While most of the time this will open the door for honorable combat, never underestimate a foe willing to do whatever it takes to win. Jonathan includes a lengthy changelog detailing all the ins and outs of the new update, as well as an official blog post that breaks things down in an easier-to-read manner. And that's what I'm going to read from. And I know you guys want to read along every little word with me, but this one's kind of gigantic, and it's going to take a little bit to read it. So just enjoy the video that I have lovingly provided you for this one. The latest update includes a host of improvements and features to Mordhau, starting with Duels. We've now implemented our first iteration of ranked play, a variety of gameplay improvements, map balancing to crossroads, quality of life improvements, new cosmetics, and more. This update is the first of multiple coming to Mordhau within the coming weeks. We've decided to break up our incoming editions into smaller updates to ensure we can release new content without excessive delays. Expect iterative patches coming in the very near future that will build upon what's currently available, and stay tuned for even more content and features soon, such as new maps, modding support, more gameplay adjustments, and improvements for weapons, shields, and archers, the new invasion game mode, ranked 3v3 mode, and more. And the developers link to another changelog, which you can find in the article. We've decided to break up the content and features we've been working on for the past few months into smaller progressive updates. You guys said that already. This will allow us to release specific things when they're ready instead of holding up progress until all the features are complete. We expect to have a much quicker turnaround between our latest update and the next, and while we don't have a specific timeline, a reasonable estimate would be a matter of weeks between these updates. You can look forward to, in no particular order, maps. Feitora and Castello are nearing completion. That's what I'm going to name my next cats. And should be ready very soon. To provide a bit of insight, these two maps are in different stages of completion, with Feitora being closer to release. Expect these maps to come along with other updates, but it's likely that they will come in different patches. Invasion! The invasion game mode is an asymmetrical attack-defend mode with a heavier emphasis on teamwork, objective interaction, and a more focused experience than what you'd find in Frontline. Progress has been great on this mode, and at the moment we're currently playtesting it on Camp, so we can further refine the mode before adding it to other maps. We plan on polishing this up in the coming weeks and implementing the mode on all maps that currently have Frontline enabled. With our latest date, we've launched 1v1 duels in a beta state to further refine our matchmaking, ELO system, and to gauge interest in the game mode. Once we're satisfied with the state of Duels, we'll be expanding this mode to include ranked 3v3s as well. It's important that we ensure Duels play well first, and make sure the gameplay and meta is in good state before opening up the team variant. God, is anyone from Blizzard reading this? PvP developers should be required to have that last sentence tattooed onto their body somewhere. While making a software development kit is a big priority for us, it's also a major undertaking that will require a lot of development resources, and ultimately quite a bit of time as well. To help support our wonderful modding scene, we're currently in the process of implementing mod auto-download features. Server owners can simply select what mods they want, and players only need to join the server to download those mods. Oh, that's so cool! God, I wish everyone would do that. I don't even play Mordhau, but I love that. These are just the main areas we're currently addressing, but more progress will be coming in the future as well. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you on the battlefield. Story number 3, also by Mr. Irwin. Doom 4 Vanilla mod releases. Doom 2016 rocked the FPS community by returning the series to a form that was long thought lost. Running, gunning, demon slaughtering goodness. How would we make that third one rhyme? Running, gunning, and applying our cunning. The demons approach us and all get a shunning. Can you shun someone with a shotgun? It would certainly make the Amish a lot more terrifying. Anyway. Critics and fans alike loved it for the most part, but what would it be like if everything we saw in Doom 2016 came out in the early 90s? Massive diarrhea. Gamers and critics collectively just wouldn't be able to contain their bowels, and a mighty wave of diarrhea would sweep the nation. How amazing that would be. Wonder no more, as a dedicated group of modders have made that a reality with their newly released Doom 4 Vanilla mod. A 3-minute release trailer shows everything we love about the modern iteration of Doom, with everything that made the series so iconic in the early days of first-person shooters. All the footage in the trailer is set to an MIDI version of the song BFG Division, and even in a reduced form, it still manages to get the blood pumping quickly. The trailer shows the absolute carnage and chaos you'd expect in beautiful retro glory. You can download the mod here, says Mr. Irwin, here being in the article that I've linked below. Click it, go to the website, flow into exclusively games, along with the necessary directions you need to get it up and running. Now go kill some demons with retro graphics, for old time's sake. Also be sure to keep an eye on Doom World, as it seems like there's always something exciting coming out for the older Doom games there. This is just the latest of many. Hey, Doom World is linked in that article too. And that's gonna do it for today's recap, my lovelies. Be sure to check out those articles I linked to in the description, and be sure to do that other thing I like. You know the one I'm talking about. That little like, comment, share, subscribe. And I got like a graphics pack transition thingamajigger. I don't know how to use it yet. When I read it, it makes me want to lie down. But when I figure it out, these recaps are going to be getting that much fancier. Until next time, I'm Jack Lindsay. Pre-order canceled.